What happens when America's ultimate nice guy, the forever young karate kid Ralph Macchio, walks onto View thinking he's getting a fluffy 7-minute promo spot only to get absolutely ambushed by Joy Behar in the most savage, uncomfortable, career-destroying television attack in years? This wasn't an interview. This was a public execution. One legend kept his cool for as long as any human possibly could, and when he finally snapped, the internet lost its damn mind. Smash that like button right now, subscribe, turn on notifications, because by the end of this story, you'll be screaming at your screen. Let's dive in. The morning started normal enough. Ralph Macchio, still looking like he's barely aged a day past 1984, strolled into View Studio, rocking a sharp navy blazer, crisp white shirt, perfect hair. That trademark humble smile. The man is 63 years young, and somehow still the ultimate boy next door. His team told him 7 minutes light and breezy, just plug the new project easy. He's done this 1,000 times. Whoopi Goldberg kicks off the segment with her usual warmth. Everybody give it up for the one. The only Ralph Macchio studio audience goes wild. Ralph waves, sits down, pure class. Thank you, Whoopi. Ladies, it's always an absolute pleasure to be here. Sarah Haynes jumps in, genuinely hyped. Ralph, tell us about this new series you're cooking up. Ralph lights up. You can tell this project means something to him. So I've been developing this new show that uses martial arts as a way to teach kids how to handle the insane pressure of social media, cyber, bullying, all the garbage they deal with today. It's mentorship, discipline, respect. But through a completely fresh lens. He barely finishes a sentence before Joy Behar leans forward like a shark that just smelled blood. Ralph, can I stop you right there? Her pen is tapping like a machine gun. Don't you think it's wildly irresponsible to keep shoving violence down children's throats? We have school shootings every week, and you're out here teaching kids how to fight. Explain. That the entire studio freezes. You could hear a pin drop. Ralph blinks once, twice, then flashes at polite Danielson's smile. He's famous for joy. I think there's a huge misunderstanding here. Martial arts isn't about violence. It's the exact opposite. It's discipline, self-control, respect. Joy cuts him off with a theatrical hand wave. Oh, spare me the brochure talk. Ralph, you're teaching kids how to hit people, full stop. How is that not glorifying violence? Whoopi shifts in her seat, already uncomfortable. Joy, I think he's trying to explain. I can speak for myself. Whoopi. Joy snaps, eyes locked on Ralph. Like a sniper, you made hundreds of millions of dollars off a movie where a teenager learns to beat up other teenagers, and now you're doing it again. When are you going to let the karate thing die? The audience lets out a collective, oh, Ralph. Takes a slow breath. His hands are calmly folded, but you can see the knuckles going white. Joy, the karate kid, was never about beating people up. It was about a kid who was getting brutally bullied, learning how to stand tall and defend himself, but only when absolutely necessary. The crane kick was a revenge. It was overcoming fear. Joy smirks like she just won the argument. Cute spin. But let's be real, you peaked in 1984, and you've been milking that one role for 40 years, aren't you? Exhausted, living in the past. Dead silence. Sarah Haynes is staring at her lap. Alyssa Farrah Griffin looks like she wants the floor to swallow her. Whoopi's eyebrows are in orbit. Ralph leans forward, voice still calm. But now they're stealing it. Joy, I've been working nonstop for over 4 decades. I'm grateful Cobra Kai resonated with an entire new generation. Millions of people found something meaningful in those stories. Joy scoffs so loud the mic picks it up. I tried watching Cobra Kai, made it 10 minutes, same juvenile garbage, just with wrinkles. The first crack in Ralph's armor appears. His jaw tightens. I'm sorry you feel that way, Joy, but clearly millions disagree. Joy leans in, voice dripping venom. Standing up for what's right. You mean punching people in the face is right. I'm 82 years old, Ralph, living in a country drowning in gun violence, and you're out here telling kids violence solves problems. Whoopi finally tries to save it. Joy, you're misrepresenting what he's saying. Joy whirls on Whoopi. Am I the only one here with the guts to ask the real questions? Then she turns back to Ralph, full attack. Dog, have you ever even taken a real martial arts class? Or did you just memorize choreography for a movie? Ralph's voice stays level, but his eyes are on fire. Martial arts literally saved my life. When I was a kid, gave me confidence, purpose, and taught me real strength is about restraint. Joy rolls her eyes so hard the audience actually gasps. Oh, here comes the Lifetime movie speech. You were an actor who got lucky. Ralph, you didn't discover inner peace, you discovered a paycheck. The murmurs from the crowd are getting louder. Ralph quietly says, Joy, this feels personal. Why are you coming at me like this? Joy's eyes flash. You want to make it personal. Fine, your has been desperately clinging to a 40-year-old movie because you know your 15 minutes ran out decades ago. The studio goes ice cold. Sarah Haynes whispers, "Oh my God." Ralph slowly stands up. His face is red, but his voice is still controlled. Barely. "Joy, I came here today excited to talk about a project that could actually help kids. Instead, I've been personally attacked for 20 straight minutes by someone who isn't even interested in a conversation." Joy smirks and waves him off. "Sit down, Ralph. We're not finished." Ralph looks her dead in the eye. "Actually, we are." He starts to walk off. Joy laughs a cold, mocking laugh. "What's wrong, Danielson? Can't take a little heat. Maybe you should wax off your feelings." Whoopi finally barks. "Joy, that's enough." But Joy is in too deep. Now, no, Whoopi, look at him the second someone challenges his precious karate fantasy. He wants a runaway, real tough guy. Ralph stops dead in his tracks. He turns around. Slowly, the entire studio holds its breath. You can literally see 40 years of class and restraint fighting the urge to go nuclear. And then he lets it rip. "You want tough, Joy? Let's do tough." But tough isn't the same as cruel. Tough isn't ambushing a guest and spending 20 minutes trying to humiliate him on national television. Joy jumps up from her chair. "And cruel in being honest about your career." Ralph steps closer to the desk. "My career. Let's talk careers." "Joy, you've been sitting behind that desk for decades, tearing down people who actually create things that inspire millions. What have you built beside a highlight reel of mean-spirited hot takes?" The audience erupts, half gasps, half cheers. Joy's face turns beet red. "Excuse me, I've been a comedian longer than you've been alive." Ralph doesn't flinch. "Comedian? Because I'm not hearing anyone laugh right now." "Joy, I'm hearing a grown woman bullying a guest who showed up in good faith." Sarah tries again. "Maybe we take a break." And oh, Joy screams, pointing at Ralph. He wants to question him. "Why legacy? Let's go. You had one good movie, one. And everything since is you." Desperately trying to relive 1984, Ralph's voice finally rises. "Joy, Cobra Kai is one of the biggest shows on the planet. Right now, critics love it, fans love it. It's about growth, redemption, fatherhood. But you wouldn't know because you brag you couldn't sit through 10 minutes. I don't need to watch trash to know it's trash." Joy fires back. Ralph throws his hands up. "You hear yourself? You're attacking a show you openly admit you've never watched on national television. Where's the integrity in that?" Joy is screaming. "Now you've been playing the same character for 40 years because you don't have the range to do anything else." Ralph goes dead. Quiet, the kind of quiet that scares you. Then he speaks low and lethal. "Daniel LaRusso in 1984 was a scared teenager. Daniel LaRusso today is a 50-something father wrestling with regret, ego, and how to raise his own kids. If you can't see growth there, that says everything about your ability to understand storytelling, and nothing about my acting." Alyssa tries one last time. "Maybe we can talk about Ralph's other work." Joy cuts her off. "What other work? Name one thing he's done that isn't karate." Ralph stares at her for 5 long seconds. Then in the calmest, most savage voice you'll ever hear, even the Karate Kid, "Well, the only thing I ever did still inspired more people, helped more kids, and taught more life lessons than your entire career of cynicism and cheap shots ever has." The studio goes pin drop silent. Joy's mouth actually falls open. Audience is frozen. Whoopi looks like she's praying for a fire alarm. Joy whispers, shaking, "How dare you come on MY show?" And Ralph cuts her off. "Your show. I thought this was called The View, not the Joy Behar Ego Hour." The audience loses IT. Joy is practically vibrating with rage. Whoopi stands up. "Okay, everybody just breathe." But Ralph isn't done. He turns to the cameras, to America, and lets it all out. "I came here excited to talk about a project that can help kids stand tall against bullies, against anxiety, against a world that tries to tear them down. Instead, I got 20 minutes of character assassination from someone who mistakes cruelty for courage." Joy crosses her arms, smirking again. "So what are you going to do?" Ralph cries. "Storm off. Very no mercy." How Ralph looks at her one last time and delivers the most legendary mic drop in daytime TV history. "No, Joy, I'm going to do exactly what I've taught kids for 40 years. I'm going to walk away from a bully with my head high and my dignity intact." He turns, starts walking off. Joy yells after him. "That's right, runaway, real, inspiring." Ralph stops one final time, turns around, and unleashes the knockout blow. "You call this running away? No, Joy, running away is hiding behind a desk for 30 years, sniping at people who actually put themselves out there and create things that matter. I've spent 4 decades trying to put something positive into the world. You've spent years tearing it down because it's easier than building anything yourself." He looks straight into the camera. "To every kid watching who's ever been bullied, ever been told their dreams are stupid, ever been attacked for no reason, this is what standing up looks like. Sometimes the strongest move is knowing when to walk away from someone who only wants to hurt you." He gives a small, sad smile. "Thank you, Whoopi. Thank you, ladies. Most of you, I wish you all the best." And with that, Ralph Macchio, the classiest man in Hollywood, walks off the set. The camera cuts to Joy sitting there speechless for the first time in her life. Whoopi just mutters, "Well, we'll be right back," and throws the commercial. The clip exploded online within minutes. Wax Off Joy trended worldwide for 48 hours straight. Fans flooded Ralph's Instagram with love and stories of how the Karate Kid changed their lives, and Joy radio silence for days. So tell me in the comments, did Ralph Macchio just deliver the most dignified, most savage, most legendary takedown in Talk South history, or she has stayed and kept fighting? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button if you're Team Ralph, and subscribe, because we cover every viral moment the second it happens.